The Lightning Deck Tech video that you're about to see is entirely fraudulent. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You see, since nobody plays MetaZoo, there can be no deck techs. Because there are no decks. Because nobody plays. In fact, MetaZoo TCG doesn't actually exist. It's just a cryptid. It's all been a big, fat figment of your imagination. The irony of a game based on cryptids itself being a cryptid is not lost on me. I guess what I'm saying is that when I'm not playing MetaZoo, this is the deck that I like to play. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Argos Anonymous. I am Argos. Oh my god, it's time for a MetaZoo deck tech, but that's impossible, right? Because nobody plays MetaZoo. Did you hear? It's not even a real game! Except it is, as it turns out. And because it's a real game, people build decks which they play. In fact, there's a brand new revised MetaZoo rulebook, which you should check out. It's like a second edition rulebook. It's going to be the book that comes with all of the Nightfall product, and it is improved. It is organized and improved. It's going to be a nice thing to see, actually. I just finished reading it, and it did help me understand a few finer points of the MetaZoo game. But let's get into this deck. This is a lightning deck. Lightning likes to go fast. So if you like to go fast, Bobby Boucher, then you would probably enjoy this deck. I'm just going to go through the different components of it and just kind of briefly talk about the cards and what those cards are trying to do. There are a lot of different variations of the quad Quetzal lightning deck, and this is mine. So if you have your own updates, good. You know, we should all tailor them to make it fun. The main reason that I love this deck, frankly, to be just full disclosure here, is because the cards in it punish your opponent for checking their phones. So you can just like, it's so fun. You know, Dingbell's in here. We'll talk about when we get to Dingbell again, but suffice to say, like, my wife likes this too, because if we're playing together, I have a habit of checking my phone, and she can just like wait for it and then just get me, and it's just super fun, man. You're also going to need some tinfoil, and ideally try to play underneath a light bulb. That's all I got. Other than that, it's all up to you. So let's kick it off with the Beasties. We're going to start with 4. Yes, 4 of the Quetzalcoatlus, Quetzals. There's 4 per spellbook. This is a beastie bird with a lot of traits over here. We've got like flight and first strike and whatnot. And it costs 4 lightning aura to play. It has a lot of health. The reason you have these is just because they are basically a beat stick, right? I mean, it's a 90 life point. It does 30 damage. It has an ability where you can basically, you know, you can exhaust it. You can fatigue your beastie or tap it to deal 25 damage to something. And you can get this out quickly in this deck because lightning likes to resource ramp. So you have other ways to like generate extra lightning and whatnot. You get these things out fast, and you've got these boomsticks that are coming in here, hitting for a whole lot of damage and staying alive because they have 90 life points. So your quad Quetz, your QQ deck, has to have 4 of those beauties. Then I have 2 Metal Men of Alabama. This one costs 1 of anything and 2 lightning aura to play. Has 70 life points. There's 2 per spellbook, but you can actually get this out early if you have tinfoil. So you need like a tinfoil hat or something. Just bring some tinfoil to play, because if you can put some tinfoil into the arena without getting up, you have to have it on you. You can play it for 1 less lightning. So I go the mile, and I just wear a tinfoil hat when I sit down to play QQ, because that's the best way to do it. So moving on from Metal Man of Alabama, let's go into the Dingbells. Dingbells are these guys that their 4th wall effect is you put away all electronic devices, and then if anyone uses an electronic device during the game, they take 50 damage. It doesn't stack. So if you have multiple Dingbells, they still only hit them for 1. But so many people check their phones, and it's such a habit that like you can play this and the opponent knows it's there, and then like a few minutes later they check their phone anyway, and then you get to ding them for 50 damage, and I just love that. But also what Dingbell does is he scales with gameplay. So because you can pay X lightning aura to play him, and his life points and power, right, and attack power, damage, scale up with that, then he's a good card early game, and he's a good card late game. In addition, he's got this ability, Wrench Attack, that for every spark counter on him, you're actually creating like Dingbell tokens that have 20 life points and 10 damage. So if he comes out later game and he's got like 4 counters on him, then you can use his ability and he just starts like making copies of not copies of himself, but a bunch of little dingies that can help to swarm and defend and do all kinds of sneaky dingy token stuff. So I love Dingbell, and maybe even sometimes I might put more of him in here. It depends on who I'm playing. If I'm playing someone who checks their phone a lot, then I would probably put in like more Dingbells, which is awesome to be able to say that in a card game. Oh, I love MetaZoo. All right, moving on. We've got 3 Ball Lightnings. Ball Lightning is a fantastic little flying beastie. So this guy is going to cost 2 Lightning Aura. He has 30 life points with 3 per spellbook. Ball Lightning basically, the advantage here is resource ramping, right? So while Ball Lightning is in the arena, which means like in play, you lose 25 life points a turn. But keep in mind, you start with 1,000. So you're paying a little bit, but what you get is you generate 1 extra lightning aura at the start of each turn. This is going to ramp you closer to getting your Quetzals out faster, that's what you want. You want Quetzals. You want Quetzals out as fast as you can, as consistently as you can, which is why we go to our next card. We're going to have 3 of these Chibi Quetzals. Chibi Quetzal lets you tutor your deck for a Quetzal, basically, but it takes time. So you play a Chibi, and then I think it's at the end. Where's the beginning? No, at the start of each turn, you put a feather counter on Chibi. And then once you have 3 of those feather counters or more, you put it in limbo, which is where dead beasties go, right? So you put it in limbo, and then you search your deck for a Quetzal, and you can play it without paying the cost. So basically, you're not going to get your Quetzal out before turn 4 with this, but then you get to play it, and you don't have to pay the cost, and it just costs 1. So all you have to do is keep it alive. Fortunately, it has flight, so it's a little bit harder for the opponent to like take it out because they have to either cast a spell at it or attack it with a beastie that has flight in order to catch it. So yeah, Chibi Quetzal helps us get our big old quad Q Quetzalcoatlus in play. Then we're going to go to 4 lightning bolts. We're out of the beasties now. We're into the spells. So spells, of course, don't stay in the arena. Beasties, once you play them, they stay in the arena, but spells don't. Spells, you play them, and then they just go to the cemetery instead of limbo. So artifacts and beasties have life points. So when they're dead, they go to limbo. That's how I like to think of it. They're similar because they have life points. Whereas potions and spells do not have life points. So when they're dead, they go to the cemetery. And that's how you split that up. So what you do is with the spell, you play it. It costs 1. You hit something for 25 damage, right? It's just a kill spell. Just gets rid of some stuff. And you can also flip a coin to a little bit more. Bookmark. We're going to have 2 bookmarks in here. Again, just a spell. This is just our draw engine. You cast this, it only costs 1, you get to draw 2. Bookmark's an amazing card. Every deck should be playing bookmarks to increase the consistency of the deck because it's free draw power. It's just an amazing card. Of course, we would not be doing anyone any justice if we didn't put at least 1 power up red in here. It's a 3 auraless, like a 3 colorless cost here, and it's just insane. This just makes everything your beastie is just insane. So there you go. It's like a super enchantment. It's a super duper duper power up red. We're going to have 1 luck potion in here because we're flipping coins sometimes, right? Like we have lightning bolt where you're going to flip a coin. And then, I guess it would already be considered heads. Well, we do some coin flipping in here. And so luck potion, what that lets you do is the next time you would flip a coin, you get to pick the result. And it costs 0. So you keep it in there. And when you play a potion, it goes to your cemetery when you're done, just like a spell would. Then we have 2 lightning in a bottle. Lightning in a bottle is kind of like haste if you've played other games like that. It costs 0. Again, it's a potion, so you play it, and when it's done, it goes to the cemetery just like other spells and potions. What you do here is you awaken target beastie, and he gains, I think that's first strike. So when beasties are played, they come into play fatigued. Quetzal and Metal Man are actually exceptions to that because they have the fleet trait, so they don't come into play fatigued. But just for an example, if you had a beastie that did come into play fatigued, you can use lightning in a bottle, you can recover it or awaken it, go in and swing with it, you're ready to go. You can use it on any one of your things anytime it's basically fatigued. Lightning likes to go fast. Lightning and fire like to finish the game fast. Now we're going to have our 2 lightning glass. These are artifacts. So they cost 0. Lightning Glass is amazing. You can have 2 per spellbook, so we're going to max it out with 2 of these things. They do have 50 life points, but you basically these come into play fatigued, but then the turn after they come into play, they're going to awaken, and then you can fatigue them to generate 2 lightning aura. So this is just, again, resource ramping. So really we have ball lightnings to ramp, as a beastie. We have lightning glass to ramp as well. And then we have the Quadcats, and we are going to be tutoring for our Quadcats with the Chibi Quetzal to increase consistency. And then bookmarks also increase the consistency. And so we just have this huge ramp and consistency engine. We have a little bit of removal, and then haste to speed it up. And then this just boomsticks. I mean, it's a pretty simple deck, really. You're just racing for the Quetzals, and you're going to juice something up to all high heaven with Power Up Red. You're going to remove things with your lightning bolts. You're going to speed things up with lightning in a bottle. You're going to ding people for checking their phones, and you get an excuse to wear a tinfoil hat while you do it. For Terra, we're going to have lightning storms because some of these guys are powered up if there's a lightning storm. Boop, 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 boop. Where is he? Where is he? Quetzal. See, the Quetzal gets 50. Power up for 50 if you're in a lightning storm. So we're going to have 3 of these lightning storm, and then we have 13 lightning aura. And that's the deck. 13 lightning aura, 3 lightning storm Terra, and a lot of fun stuff. So it's easy, as it turns out, to play MetaZoo. It's actually not super complicated. It's an easy game. It's very similar to Magic the Gathering, except artifacts come into play fatigued, right? And they can be killed, which is a little bit more balanced, actually. I like it. Oh, and you can wear tinfoil hats, and you can have like a reason for it. You're not just crazy. You're just being strategic. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Put it in the comments if you also have your own version of the QQ deck. This is a very popular deck. This deck is based on, there was a MetaZoo Notepad crew that put a lot of deck lists on there. Shout out to those guys. They a lot of them now are now the testing people, the development, the R&D people in MetaZoo. So they were some of the OGs coming up with decks, and this is actually very similar to one of the decks that they posted. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, MetaFam, for stopping by. Tune in soon. We're going to do a Patreon exclusive giveaway on Monday, which is going to be our first Patreon exclusive thing. Big shout out to the patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the MetaZoo, the Argos MetaZoo community. We're going to have a lot of fun, and it starts on Monday. That's all for now. Argos out.